compost extractor, you can see up there, there is a vortex or a cyclone that yellow plastic thing. So the water is, we first put just water and we recirculate it through this positive displacement pump. It's a very cheap pump. And it goes through there. And by doing a vortex, it incorporates air into the water and saturates it with air, the water.
So just put the nozzle at an angle to make it go round and round?
It's built to the exact dimensions so they can go round and they can suck air through the center and spray through the perimeter. So by doing that, you saturate the water with air, and you do that for 20 minutes. We just put it on for 20 minutes, let it recirculate. Then we put the compost here. With that bucket, you have to make good compost. It has to have a minimum of 3% humus. This one has a 8.8 humus. So with that bucket, we just put it here. This has a screen. So we open this valve and the water starts to recirculate through here, and we connect down here to the inlet of the pump. So it's recirculating everything.
Back into the tank?
Back into the tank. So the compost gets dissolved here by the water flushing through it, and whatever piece cannot go through the screen will be discarded later. Whatever is dissolved, that's why we call it extracted. Whatever is dissolved is in this tank. So we keep it on for another 20 minutes. After that we add the food, which is molasses and liquid fish, which is a fish solubles. And we add enough to make for 1 gallon per acre of each. It usually takes from 1.5 to 2 pounds of compost per acre. That's it. So we have to calculate all that for 25 gallons of end product per acre. So it comes back here and it gets mixed in the same vortex for another 5-10 minutes. Then it's ready. Now this has a cone shape because the material will settle to the bottom, and we don't want that to block the nozzles. So I'm going back here. We have this filter. If you see where we get the product from, is from the side, not from the bottom. This is the bulb from the side. That assures us that the sludge will go to the bottom and be discarded every Monday. Every Monday we flush the bottom. So by using this and this filter, we can end with a fine product that can be used even for drip irrigation. But we don't do that. So when we are irrigating, we inject the appropriate amount to that injector pump to the irrigation supply. When it's raining like right now, we don't irrigate, so we do it with that sprinkler sprayer system and out in the field. And it works very good. The cost is around $5 per acre for the material, the raw material, per acre per application, plus the application cost. So, but by doing that, the bricks levels go up. How much, I don't know. I just know that the cows get fatter faster, their health is better, they eat much less or nothing of minerals when they are on this program, because the grasses take more out of the soil. Just like in the rumen with cornrows, they take more out of the forage. So with this makes the same, but through the soil. And if you think about it, it's the same bacteria in the soil that digest and produce the organic matter than the cow has in the rumen. They are the same ones. The cow is the reservoir of these microorganisms for when there is a drought. If it wasn't for ruminants, it would be difficult to return them to the soil, or it would take longer. So it's all a symbiosis. And also we are getting more diversity, and better production without high cost. And it's natural, so I like it very much. I can say that our production has gone up like since using it. I don't know exactly, but maybe 3 times more.
That's a big number.
It's a big number. It's only 6 months. Mostly by covering every space. Before if we can go out, I will let you to show where they spray the Roundup and where they have fabric covering the soil for 22 years. And you can see that nothing is growing there but weeds, and then we have Bahia grass, then weeds, Bahia grass, weeds and bare soil. So we spread seeds of hairy indigo, and it didn't come up until we sprayed the compost extra. Then it's coming up in the row that has on the weeds. Now the hairy indigo is coming up, and the best way to heal the land is through with biology. It can be legumes and it can be compost extra. That's what has worked here.
Which is torpedo.
So I'm
Okay,
surprised all the time. Like that
this
torpedo, I didn't know what torpedo grass
I
was,
think we've got some.
and
I
we're
think
having
I've got
it
some
all
and
over.
it tested really
Please-
well.
Please film the torpedo grass. It's this one.
Torpedo, yeah.
Uh-huh.
This will be torpedo grass. And please, if let me find a
Is there any
flower.
indigo in here? That's what that is. Okay, that's what I thought.
It's coming all over the place now.
Uh-huh. Looks like it's growing really well in next to your road where it was falling out of the tractors.
Well,
this where they filled up the hopper.
now that when everybody arrives, I will start.
Yeah, yeah.
Come over. We're going to start explaining. Okay, this is a stockpile of pasture that we left to grow like a month and a half or maybe more ago. And we spread seed of hairy indigo so we could have a mixture and higher production and better quality. The problem here is that this has been heavily abused by herbicides for 22 years. So you can see the strip where the herbicide was applied here and where fabric was on, and they had the big pots of the nursery trees. They were here. So you can see Bahia, mostly weeds, then Bahia, mostly weeds, and like that. Now hairy indigo is coming up, not where the Bahia is, but up in the strips that were damaged by herbicide. And it wouldn't come up till we applied compost extra. This place has been grazed since last year, since April, but it has been applied compost extra only once, because we were mainly concentrating in what we are grazing, which is like 1/4 of the ranch right now. So everything big starts small. This is clover, by the way. We still have clover growing in the summer. So this is going to be a great pasture by next year. This year we will let everything express itself, go to seed, and graze it in the winter. So there will be a lot of seed here for next year. By allowing everything to grow big and tall, the roots will grow deep and the organic matter will increase. And then by taking it down into winter, we will create a cycle of those nutrients. They will be cycled back. So next year, we will have the ideal seed bed by the hoof actions of the cow for it to grow. And then next year it will be rotationally grazed, non-selectively. Hopefully, if we have enough cows, we need like double them up. Yes.
Will eat the weeds this winter? Will the weeds have any value?
Some weeds they do it. I won't know till this winter.
Uh-huh.
What I know is that the dog fennel they don't like, but this one, I don't know the name, they do eat it.
Yeah.
They like it. So.
13 months ago, this was very, very sparse grass when they grazed it. I mean, a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there.
Yeah, they had to walk from plant to
They
plant.
had just cleared
Walk.
it, taken up the...
Anchors and
Wow.
plastic.
And
Do you have before and after pictures?
He
Yeah.
showed the pictures. You
Good.
probably don't remember them.
They
but
need to go in your book.
I don't have a book yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet. But this is amazing because the hairy indigo is $2 per pound and we just spread 8 pounds per acre. And we will get a full stand. And next year there will be a lot of seed there. So that's low cost. Yeah. And the other places where we apply compost extract since January, it's full of grass. You don't see the strips anymore. which will be paddock number 5. If you want to see it, I can take you there. That was disced and planted with Osceola white clover, ryegrass, and rye. And we applied compost extra every 14 days at first, then every 28 days. And now it's completely covered with Bermuda and Bahia. And that torpedo grass is coming up, and legumes. Everything's coming up. And we have a lot of clover, white clover. So I hope, if this works well, to start in November when we have the first frost, to have a lot of white clover coming up without planting it anymore.
We've got a friend with a cow herd for sale, and I think he's coming to Missouri to your school.
And he's selling his herd? Why?
Drought in Texas.
What kind
Oh,
of
in
cow?
Texas, West Texas?
Central, I guess more central Texas.
Okay.
What kind
That's
of cows
sad.
do you have?
He's been using Kit Pharaoh bulls on them. I'm not sure if they've probably a lot of Red Angus.
Well, sometimes when a drought is bad enough, there is no other option. Even with all the planning, you have to do stuff.
Unless you have irrigation.
Unless you have irrigation,
He's
then
gonna
you are...
keep the little calves, and the cows are bred back.
Oh, okay. So he's not selling the whole herd.
But all the cows, he's just gonna keep the baby calves
Only.
that they're bred back.
He doesn't have access to any irrigation.
I bought my beef master from him in 1999. So Clifton Mark.
Clifton Mark, okay, I'll try to remember that.
He's I know John Marshall well.
Oh, okay, I know John Marshall. Well, we're going to start next Monday, so I hope I remember the name. Clifton Mark, okay. Well, this is how it looks. At first they will graze only the strips and the spaces between the strips that had grass. And now we're going to have everything. That makes for a higher production.
And you've spread your seed in the weed rows.
No, it's a cyclone spreader with the tractor, so
And it
we
spreads
just,
everywhere.
we just spread everywhere. It
Okay.
was how do you do it to only spread here, not there?
So when the cows trample it, they're going to be trampling some more seed in this winter.
Yeah. And plus all these little plants will be this big and setting seed. Okay. Now I would like you to take you further down so you can see some big plants of hairy indigo. It grows this size. And then on the other side we have white clover and Bermuda and Bahia and Astronomini. How?
Ashenominy.
Astronomini?
Which
I-
one is that?
They tell me it is this one.
Looks a little different from the Ashenominy on my farm. It might be a little genus difference or something. I'm not sure.
Mimosa tree.
It looks, but it spreads. It has like runners, and it forms like a bush. This one. And this one.
And that hairy
But see all
indigo,
the hairy indigo we have. Yeah,
did you say it was a lagoon?
it's a legume. For 24% protein. You can see it bigger over there. That's it's those. And they say it's not very palatable, but these machonas, they love it. They eat it even when it's dry. So we now have 2 wires instead of 1 because the calves fell into the ditch. And we have alligators in the ditch and pneumonia. So maybe with 2 wires, would that be enough for the chip? Or do you need 3?
I don't
I
think
use
they'd want to
three,
go
but-
down there anyway, so I think you'd be all right, but I'm not sure.
But you need a guard dog too.
Yes.
2 wires enough, says Johann. 3. I agree. I
I
prefer
use
3.
3. Some people use 2, but
I would use 3. Gives me peace of mind because coyotes will be deterred by 3, but not by 2. Well, we're getting more and more of that torpedo grass, and this is becoming. If you had seen this, I can see the health of the grass just by looking at it, the color and the bigger. If you had seen this last year, it was mainly sand, where now it's a little grass, and here there was a little grass, but this was all sand. And dog fennel this high, that's what grew. So we mowed the dog fennel, and that became fertilizer.
where the crabgrass is that where the plastic was? No, that's where the
I think
that's where the runoff
yes,
was.
I think that was where they applied the
Around it.
herb, the Roundup, and here was the plastic.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not sure. Anyway, this will produce a lot of tonnage by end of the growing season. If it hadn't been applied with herbicide, it would be much better. Now here we haven't applied compost extra but twice. So there, but it has been grazed more, and this was stockpiled last winter, so it had a chance to express itself. And then it was ultra high density grazed. I mean last growing season, and then high density grazed down to the ground. All this in the winter, and now it's rotationally being grazed. But my mistake that I can see here is that I am letting it mature too much. I had to go through it faster, or I need more cows. Even though I reduce the size of the paddocks or the area that I am grazing, this is still too mature. This should be a little bit younger to get better daily gains without supplements. We're not using supplements right now on the cows. So what I'm doing is I'm letting them graze selectively, but like 60-70% of what they would graze, and then I am mowing behind. But from now on, I'm not going to mow because the winter is coming, and any forage I can save will be better if we're going to buy more heifers, which is the plan, to buy more heifers. All this paddock was this, and it was also the last stockpile we saw, that was this, and planted to the winter annuals. And this has been having compost extract applications since January. Yeah, and before this it wasn't so nice. You can still see the remains of the strips that had grass, and this didn't have anything but bare soil and dog fennel, and now the Bermuda came in. Now it's almost a old cover top.
When did you disc it?
In November?
November.
Yes.
Okay.
First days of November.
Yeah, it's a lot of progress.
And you grazed it recently?
Yes, it was grazed like 3 weeks ago. Even though it's not so nice because it has been grazed recently.
And no mowing? It hasn't
No,
been
we
mowed
didn't
afterwards?
mow it this time. We had mowed it before, like 3 times, because it started raining at the end of May. So we had an early growing season and a lot of forage.
Yeah.
So I decided to feed the bacteria with the clippings that when you
It
mow.
also spread the seeds a little.
Well,
Probably.
there were no seeds.
No seeds.
No,
Okay.
only green matter. But then you even everything. So it grows evenly and you get more productions because you recycle all those nutrients back.
Yeah.
So now it's much better than it was before. And there is white clover here, a lot of seeds and some live plants, not many I see. Some portions have a lot of it smell. You have to smell the earth. You have to smell like compost. And eventually it will. I don't know how many years. Much of it was taken down by the dung beetles, but some is still there.
They saved some for you to look at.
We still don't have enough dung beetles. We need many more. So we'll get there. Oh, another thing we want to try this year is a ball clover that Tony told us, and he showed me some pictures. Grows like this much, beautiful, and I'm sure it can complement what we have.
What did you call it?
Ball clover.
Ball clover?
It looks like ball, like a ball.
Yeah.
It looks like white, but a little different. Like the
But
flower
it
is like
uses white inoculate, like white clover inoculate, so it's similar.
So we have the inoculate is there already, because we have a lot. You know, this ranch, 50 years ago, it was all white clover.
Really?
And Pangola, which are very high quality both. A lady told me that. She used to come here when she was very young to ride horseback, and she told me that. So I knew that this could be done.
Was it cattle or what?
It was cattle.
Huh.
Pangola and white clover. She said it grew up to your knee. Well, her knees are like this. But that's what we got this winter, almost like this. So it can be done. Now everybody tells me white clover used to grow here but doesn't grow anymore. Can you guess why?
Soil life.
Huh?
Soil life for one thing.
It's soil life through management. By continuous grazing, you deplete the organic matter or humus content, and that's the water holding capacity amongst other things. So when it gets dry, the white clover just cannot take it, and it disappears. I think that's a guess. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm sure there's other contributing factors, but
Yeah.
that's the major.
I mean, cattlemen that have had ranches around here, they say, oh, white clover used to grow here, but not anymore. But they have been continuous grazing for 50 years.
Well, and if the
At the
poor
low
cow
animal
finds
impact.
one little leaf of white clover, she'll eat it. Well, how's it going to go to seed and make more for the future?
There.
It's
Yeah,
management.
you get conditions right, it'll come back.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do here, make conditions right.